Welcome to Barb's Craft Room. Today we are going to create a mini journal, and I'm going to do it using some of the junk that I showed you in the first video. So I'm going to I want to make a small journal, and I'm going to make it Christmas. So I'm going to take one of these advertisements. This advertisement is a 9 by 6. So my book is going to be 9 by 6 or thereabouts. So half of 6 is 3. And that's half a 9. Half a 9 is 4.5. And then I'm going to go a quarter this way. So it's 4 3/4. And I'm going to score it. Then I'm going to go back to 4.5 and go back a quarter and make it another score at 4 1/4. And now I have a spine. I want to see if it matches. So it matches. That is my book. For this book, it's going to be very simple. I'm going to take a piece of Christmas paper. I kind of like the green. So I flip it over this way. And since it's 6 inches, I think I'm going to cut this at 6 inches. Probably that's the exact amount, but that's okay, because that way I have the exact amount. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to glue it on. But before I do, this is 12 inches and this is 9. So 9, to make it even on each side, that's 3 inches. I would score it at 1.5 inches on each end, so it has an easy fold. 1.5 inches and score. There is scored that way. See? There we go. Super, super easy. And it looks like it fits like a glove, but it doesn't. It's a little bit off, but that's okay. Now, if I glue it straight down and I fold, you see what will happen is it won't work very well. So what did I say I scored this at? 4 and 3/4. So make sure you fold this edge over so you have the exact measurement. 4 3/4 and also 4 1/4. That should be the same as my book. There we go. So probably the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I glue this center part down. Since it's scored, it should fold nicely. There we go. And to glue it, I'm going to use a tape, score tape. Make it straight. So score tape make sure you leave a little bit of room. Don't go right on that score line. If you do, it won't fold right. And then what I'm going to do is burnish it first so this tape comes off and not the glue. There we go. Then I'm going to put another one right next to it. That's why I removed the tape. So it was like that. There we go. Now that should be strong. And burnish it. And remove the tape. The hardest part of doing this is getting this even. So, let's get it even. There. And hopefully I did it correct. Flying book. Then we will glue this side. I can choose to use a score tape again on this, but I don't want it to peek through at any point, so I'm going to use glue. I'm going to use our glitter glue. I'm going to try and get it perfectly on the edge. And I'm not steady-handed, so perfectly on the edge doesn't happen. That's okay. Hold it down. I'll flip the side. Try that again. There we go. We have a cute little book right now, but I need to let it dry. So while it's drying, I would like to put a 4 1/4 by 6 piece here and here. I'm going to use the same paper, but I'm going to use this side. So 4 1/4. That way I'm not wasting my paper. 4 1/4 by 6 and 4 1/4 by 6. That just leaves this spine right here. And what I like to do with the spine, I think I need to cut these down just a hair. Goodness. They can't be exact. They overlap on the score line. I don't want that. So I'll just trim it just a little. There we go. But it does have to be exact on the 6. So the spine, you can put, what can we put there? We can put a piece of fabric. We can put another piece of paper. I think a Christmas fabric would be really cute. So I'm going to glue these on. By the way, I wasn't prepared for this. I just sat down here and decided I was going to add a video to my YouTube channel. And why not? Why not? So that's what I'm doing. And I'm bringing you along. If you like what you see, you can subscribe to my channel and like it, and I would appreciate it. You really don't need anything fancy to make a book. Not anything fancy at all. There we go. Look at that. My book has been made. This is going to fold in here, and I'm going to make it a pocket. But what I'd like to do is round the corner a little bit. Just a little round. I think this one, there we go. A little bit around. It takes away the sharp edge of the paper. It has a softer look to it. And look at that, beautiful. Just going to glue the edge of this pocket with that. Notice I didn't go all the way up to the corner, just the side. Just the side. Give it a little pocket on each side. And there's your little tuck spots on the back of and on the front of your book. Nicely bound little book. Just need to add pages. And the spine right here would do well with a fabric in the middle, like so. Maybe I have some right here that I can use. I try to have stuff right in front of me to use. There we go. Here's a piece of fabric. So this spine is about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to cut this. Well, I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to tear it. And I'm going to tear it maybe about 3/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more. Just tear it. That has some really cool edging like that. You know, looks good. And then I need 6 inches only. So 6 inches. You can make it longer if you want. There. And then we're going to put this in the spine. That way it has a little bit more sturdiness. It's a little more sturdiness so when you add the pages. And to put that in, I'm going to put it in with some Fabri-Tac. But when I put it in with Fabri-Tac, what I want to make sure is that, you know, Fabri-Tac, it will stick, but you want to make sure that your needle goes through when you're sewing. So if you put it on and then spread it with your finger, you'll have less bulkage. And then you add your, there we go. It's nice and smooth. And the needle, when you sew your pages in, will then, it'll give you you'll be able to sew it easy. Okay, so my pages need to be at not 6 inches. We're going to go 5 3/4, and then this is 4 1/4, so 5 3/4 by 4. So let's cut some pages, 5 3/4 by 4, and I'm going to use what I showed you I had piled up around here. The papers that I showed you that I brought over here from the last video. I'm planning on making a whole bunch of these cute little books. I don't know why I want them little. So this is an envelope. I'm going to use this envelope. 9 inches is what that is. I need to go at least 8 1/2. So we'll cut off this amount. And then, oh, I said I couldn't fold this one in half. I couldn't fold that one in half because of the pocket. The windows were too tall. I need an envelope with a pocket where it's not too tall. Let's see what I have here. Okay. I'm sure I have one here. I would really like to use an envelope. I have one of these. I have that would work in there. And I have a piece of, what do I have here? I got lots of everything. I'm making a mess. This looks like the right size page. I'll fold it in half. This one I'll have to cut. Probably just cut off that edge. So now I have 2 pockets. There we go. Don't throw these away because you can use these. I have the map. The map will work. And you notice I'm not really measuring these. I'm making sure they're the same size. I just want to make sure that they fit in my book. I have this cartoony one. This can go in there. Looks about the right size. I do have a index card here, a 5 by 7 index card. That can be a page also. Looks really nice. I have this leafy one. That can be a page. I have a music page. The music page, folded in half, is quite large. So, to make it fit, most of these are straight edge, so I will make it a straight edge. I want it at least 4 inches wide, so I'll cut it at 4 inches wide. And on here it says, let not your heart be troubled. That would be a good saying to put on a sentiment. 6 inches or 5 3/4 to make it fit. We'll cut off some on that end, and we'll cut off on the opposite end. So now it matches the design of the book. There we go. That's the page. I don't really want this orange paper, so I'm not going to use the orange paper. I have some wax paper. Wax paper cut at 5 3/4 by 4. Of course, you can use, you can make it a smaller piece if you like. I saw this is a smaller piece. You can make it a smaller piece. It's your book. You do it how you want. I just thought that would be pretty in there. Then I'm going to use I have Vinny right here. This is a paper I have in my stash over here. I think it's pretty, so it's going to go in my book. I'm going to fold it in half. And cut it at 5 3/4 or thereabouts. And we have a page. Then it's a matter of where you want to put your pages, how you want to arrange them. So far, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. 8. I think in this size book, I'm going to put a few more, 10 to 12. Here's a book page. This is a whole book page. I should have left it and folded it like that. Oh well, I did not. This is a nice page. Let's put it in here. Take this other one. I'm going to use them both. This one feels like it's got more than one. Because it does. Maybe I can still do it. But then when I stitch it, it could fall apart. I'm going to save that. I have this airplane page. Figure out which way is the airplane going to go. It's not really Christmassy, but I can make it Christmassy. I can add presents falling from the airplane. And 5 3/4 will cut off that raggedy edge to make it straight, and 4 inches. There we go. So I like it. I like it. I like it. Santa can jump out of that plane also. Okay. I sure would like a few pages of, which I don't have over here, is tea-dyed paper. I don't have that over here. I don't have a one piece. I have one. Maybe I do. Nope, I don't. Keep going, keep going. I did not add tea-dyed paper over here. That's kind of odd. I did get a sweet, I do have, look at that. That can be, I can turn that into, stitch it here, and have a pocket on this end and a pocket on that end. That works. Let's do it like that. And then A very nice lady sent me Braille paper, and I'm going to try and use a piece of this Braille paper. I think it would make a really cool addition to this book. I just wonder what it says. But Braille pages are really cool. So, 8.5. 8.5. And Braille. Braille paper. Not sure how I want to do this, but I'm going to use this whole page somehow. I just need to make that 4 inches. 4 inches. Let's try cutting that again. Since apparently I don't know how to cut. This stuff is hard to cut. Okay, 4 inches. 4 inches. Open it up. And cut. There we go. Just had to push harder. Okay. I do believe I have a book. There we go. There's a few pages that look a little long, so they need to be trimmed some. This one, it was at 4 inches. That's why, because it's at 4 1/4. That would be why. Make sure all your pages fit well in your book. There's a little hangover there. So that's this little pocket. I'll trim a little bit more off the pocket. Just a 1/4 inch. There we go. There we have it. That's going to be a very cute book for Christmas. Okay. So now comes the stitching part. And for stitching, you need a few things. You need a needle for sure, an awl, you need a needle and some kind of thread. Wax linen thread is probably the best thing to use because it's waxy, it slides easily through your book. If you don't have it, you can use embroidery thread, something that's really thick. You can use twine. Twine's pretty sturdy. It's up to you what you want to use. 1, 2, and 3 lengths of your book to create the spine. And just cut it. Not a very good scissor to cut. Waxy thread slides really easy, ties, stays tight. It just seems to work really nice. Also, you want to make sure, I put the pages in the order that I wanted them in. And, you know, I just did it really quickly. You want to make sure that your pages are exactly how you want them. And then you put them in your book. Make sure you put them in exactly how you want it, nice and straight. If your pages are not straight, when you go to sew your book, they will, you will not have, they won't be where you want them to be. This one is upside down. So, I know I'm fiddling a lot, but I want to make sure that they're in there tight, how I want them. Then I'm going to clip it onto my book. Go down a little. That wasn't how I wanted the book, so I'm going to do this a little differently. There we go. I'm going to put it right there in my book like that. Okay. I think that's how I want it. It can be quite simple. Clip. That holds all the pages. And then I need one on this side. I have this size. It doesn't matter which size of clip you have, as long as you clip it in there really good. Push it down into your spine the best you can. Push it in there. Then you'll want to make 3 holes. Okay. 3 holes. You can make a template if you want. Make a template like so. This is the size of book. This is for 3 signatures. And since I only have 1, I can do like this and line it up with that hole. Like so. Push it in there. And I like to have my needle ready. I sew a little bit different than most everybody else. I've had experiences where I thought I had it sewed in. I thought I made the hole right, but I didn't. So this is going to make it easier for me. Whatever's easiest for you is how you should do it. So there's my hole, and I put the needle through. I don't pull it all the way, but most of the way. Now I'm going to line this one up. Put that one here. And then through the back, you go through the back into, and you can tell my spine is off. It's not really where I want it to be. Okay, close enough though. And this is what I was talking about on sewing. There we go. Did you even go in? No. There should be papers. Should be. Another way to do it is make the holes first, and that way they're not off-centered like this. I got it that time. Okay, and then the third hole is down here. Measure like that. Right there. And I've really wished I would have done it the other way, but I didn't. So I will just accept how I did it, even though it's not how I want it. But that just makes room for a second signature if I wanted. But it's still on the spine. And then you go back in the middle one. If you can find the way. Find the way. Nope. Find the way in. I just want you to see that, you know, everybody struggles with making these books. You're not alone. I'm sitting here struggling with it. You will struggle with it too. But it's okay. Nobody's perfect, and that's fine. So, I'm removing my needle and I'm putting it away right away so I don't lose it. I'm putting my awl away so I don't lose it. And if you see, I put the string one on one side, one on the other. Pull as tight as I can pull and make a knot. And I tie it at least 2 times, sometimes 3. And I save the rest. You can tie a bow here. You can, I'll tie a bow for now, but I like to add dangles to my books. So I'll probably add a dangle later. And if I forget, at least it's in a bow. There we go. And there's my book. Now all I need to do is embellish it. It already comes with 2 tuck spots. Nice. I can tell my fabric is coming up. I don't want that to happen. So I need a little bit more Fabri-Tac. I don't like that. It looks like it has enough room to put another signature in it. But I don't think I want to add another signature. There we go. I'm going to put it on this side too, just so it holds down. And there we go. All right, while I'm not an expert, I do things my way, and you're going to find that you're not an expert, but you can do things your way. Maybe in the next video, I will show you how I'm going to embellish all the pages. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.